Hello and welcome to my channel Stitched from my stash. My name is Julie and I'm coming to you from just north of Glasgow in the UK. I started this channel with the aim of motivating me to get on with my sewing, knitting, my craft projects because I felt I wasn't making time for my crafts and I really enjoy doing them. So I'm going to start where a lot of people start, which is talking about what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing a mohair jumper, which is sort of a crop-ish look that I made in 2023, at the beginning of 2023. So that's nearly 2 years ago. I thought it was longer than that, to be honest, but I did look it up on my Instagram and I finished in January 2023. The pattern is called Nutmeg by Jennifer Stark and I downloaded it from Ravelry and I think it's still on there. It's quite a popular pattern. I did change the neck and possibly the cuffs. I think it was like a little rolled neck, so I put on just some ribbing for the neck and for the cuffs, but it's super cozy and I have worn it a lot. The yarn, I can't remember where I got the yarn from. It was in my stash. It could have come from my late mother's stash. I really can't remember, but there was enough of it to make a sweater, so I'm very pleased with it. I think I will try. I do have a collection of oddballs of mohair and I was thinking perhaps I'll try and make a striped version because I do wear this a lot. So that's what I'm wearing today, and I don't think today is going to be a long episode. We'll see. But I do have some finished items to chat about. And the first one is this cushion, which I completed, I think perhaps last night. I sewed the buttons on. So I'm really pleased with this. It's the first. I'm not a super duper crocheter. I'm fairly new to crochet and I have loads of acrylic yarn to use up. This is actually Aran weight. So I thought, what projects can I make that use bits and bobs of yarn? So one of the things I came up with were cushion covers. This this cushion, the pattern came from this book and it's the striped version, and in UK crochet terms it's treble crochet. In American terms I think it's double crochet. So I think that book is written in UK terms. This inner is 50 centimeters, so it's a feather one, so it is nice and cozy. My aim is to make a collection of cushions to go on this futon sofa. It is quite a thin mattress and I thought the cushions would really make it a bit more comfy. And I have loads of cushion inners and I have loads of yarn, and they are quite a nice size project to attempt. I'm going to come back to that in a couple of minutes because I've got one of my works in progress is a cushion a cushion cover. Right, so that's my first finished item. The second one I had sort of finished for the last episode, but I hadn't sewn it up. So the second finished item is a Dolly's cardigan, which I have sewn up. It's a raglan cardigan on this very old pottery doll who doesn't have many clothes, unfortunately. There's a story behind this doll, and I've had it since the 60s, and I think I brought this dress as a jumble sale back in the Rhondda when I was growing up. So it's a really old dolly. Anyway, the cardigan is, I've put it on my Ravelry page, my Ravelry site, and it's by T. Guetz. I think it's written in French, but there's a translation as well. I can't speak French. So if you're interested, it's on my Ravelry page, which is Stitched from Stash. There's loads of free doll's clothes on there. I made this with the intention of putting it towards a little selection of doll's clothes for our granddaughter, but it's a bit too big. So I may try and adapt it to fit the little doll I've got for her for Christmas. It's knitted on circulars, so there's the only sewing up is the bottom of the sleeves. The rest is just all knitted top down, which I like because I don't think I'm very neat at sewing up. So again, just some acrylic yarn that I had in my stash. I've got 2 boxes and numerous bags of acrylic yarn, which I want to get through before, careful what you say, Julie. I'd like to use as much as possible before I start buying more wool-based yarn. We'll see. Watch this space. I may want to make something nice for myself, and I would buy some wool-based yarn. Anyway, that's the second finished item, which is a Dolly's cardigan. The third finished item, there are 3 finished items. So the third is something I really made very quickly last night. I mentioned this in the last episode, that I wanted to make some sweat tops for my sons for Christmas, my adult sons. And I've made them over various Christmases. Didn't make any last year because we had just moved house and it was chaos. So I made one last night from Stash. I've just got it here. And this is the sweat top. It's a basic raglan sweat top. Now, when I went to look in I've got at least one big drawer of sweatshirt fabric. And when I went to look yesterday evening, I found I'd already cut this out. So that was a really quick sewing job last night. I've got an overlocker, so I very quick on the overlocker to whip up one of these once you've cut them out. And I was quite pleased with the stitch on the overlocker. I didn't have blue thread, but I thought white worked very effectively, and I think the stitch has come out really nicely. So I'm pleased with how neat it looks on the inside. The cuffs and the neck ribbing is fabric, and the sweatshirt fabric that I bought from a shop on the coast of North Wales when we lived near there, called Abercorn. They do have some various outlets in the northwest of the UK, Manchester, Chester, I think. Anyway, the fabric came from Abercorn quite a few years ago, and the cuffing also came from Abercorn. The fabric I think it's quite nylon-y. It isn't like a heavyweight sweatshirt fabric, but it'll be one of a number. I know my sons wear these loads, and it's something to wrap up, isn't it, for Christmas? Right, the pattern is this pattern, which I bought 4 or 5 years ago. Not sure if they still do this one, but it's a straightforward sweat top pattern, and I've made quite a few of these, so I'm pleased with how neat it looks. Anyway, it looks good, and I am going to try and make a few more out of the fabric I've got. Now, I have to be careful. I know nothing about football. My sons aren't bothered about football, but that I don't get the colour combinations of a football team means nothing to me. So I finished that. So that's my 3 finished items, which I am pleased with. A few more things out of the way. Right, my works in progress, I'm going to talk about one. There are numerous others, but this is the one I've been concentrating on. To go back to the cushion, so I've got some ideas to make some other cushions. And as I said, I'm not a great crocheter. I'm a learner in terms of crochet. I wanted to make some more out of this book. I wanted to do that one. And I didn't understand the stitch count or the pattern, so I eventually looked up on YouTube the crochet crowd. I think what I did first, I had a pattern off Ravelry, and one of the comments, when people write comments, recommended Mikey off the crochet crowd. So I looked it up. Stunning selection of videos, which I'm really looking forward to going through. But I focused on, they've got a beginners section, they've got a playlist of loads of beginner crochet videos, and I focused on a pattern that I could adapt to make a cushion cover. And I found one that they're calling a bean pattern. And I've done this much, got it in my cutesy basket here. I've done this much of the pattern, and I think it's going to make a really effective cushion cover. I'm going to repeat these, again, oddballs of acrylic I've got. But I think it's a bit too big for the cushion inner I've got. And I don't want it to be all gappy and baggy on the sides. So I've started, don't know if I've got it here, another cover. And I've only done that much so far, and I haven't undone that because I wanted to measure this against the cushion inners I've got. So I'm going to use the same colour combination, just make a smaller size so the cushion is nice and puffy. So the stitch pattern, I think I did chain 50, I think, on there, and then it's one row of double crochet US, no, single crochet US, and then this bean stitch which you miss every other, and then you wind the yarn round 3 times before you pull it through. So I think it's quite effective. I think it looks really nice. That would be nice for a pram throw for a baby, but it's going to destined to be a cushion cover. And it, once I got the pattern sorted, it did take me a while, but the videos on Crochet Crowd are fabulous. It does crochet up quite quickly. So that's what I'm focusing on, plus doing some more sweat tops, plus anything else that I can fit in. Now I am away next week. When you'll be watching this, I'll be away. So I don't know how much I'll get done. There is a bad storm forecast in the UK over the weekend, so I may delay my travelling. But that's it for now. I just thought I'd do a little video because I'm not going to be around next week and I've got something to upload when I'm away. So thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you fancy, and I will see you again in a week from you watching this video, but it'll be just over a week for me. Take care. Best wishes wherever you are. Bye.